Dub Nation, how are we doing? Golden State Warriors fans, where you at? There you are. Welcome back to C-Train Station, and welcome to C-Train Station for those who are new. Those who are subscribed, it's good to see you again. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Father's Day is tomorrow. Hope all you fathers out there, everybody's nice and happy and having fun with the family. But hey, how about not only a little bit of just league-wide news, but let's talk about a few prospects. Well, not a few prospects. Let's a few prospective trades that I sort of have scouted out. A couple players that I think would really interest me if I were the Warriors with that $8+ million exception that the Warriors have. So the Warriors have essentially like an $8.7, I believe, million trade exception that they can use to trade for a player, and you can attach draft capital to that, I believe. I don't think you can attach another player though. I think it's the exception and draft picks, I believe. So, first of all, Kevon Durant has said, I believe, that he'll only re-sign with the Spurs and the Rockets. Now that's Shams, I believe, is reporting that. So that's hot off the press. So what does that mean? I think that the Golden State Warriors are now pretty much it. A trade's going to go down, I believe, sometime soon, sometime in the next few weeks for Kevon Durant. I think that all but eliminates the Golden State Warriors from trading for Kevon Durant. He said that he essentially wouldn't re-sign with the Warriors. And I know that the Warriors would want a commitment that probably matches up, if not goes past where Butler and Curry are. If hypothetical trade though, if the Warriors were to make an offer for KD, it would be 2 first-round draft picks, Draymond Green, and a re-signed Jonathan Kuminga. That's what I believe the deal would be. The president of the Suns, I believe, Matt Ishbia, I'm gonna get that wrong. I know that he has ties with Draymond Green, and also the Suns were sort of like enamored with Jonathan Kuminga. But I think that whole thing's out the window. I was just reporting that that's not going to happen most likely. Like almost with certainty, KD isn't coming to the Golden State Warriors. He has not said he would re-sign and commit with the squad, with the Warriors, should they have traded for him. So, also in other news, Steven Adams, a perspective. I think a lot of Warriors fans would have loved Steven Adams to be that starting center, man. That just big bruiser, right? For just a few minutes a game. The Zaza Pachulia mold. Well, he's gone. He re-signed with the Rockets. 3 years, $39 million, I believe, if I'm correct on that. So, just a few of the newest news and notes. And I hope you're all, by the way, I hope you're following that NBA Finals. 2-2 between the Pacers and Thunder, and it's going back to Oklahoma City. I think that Oklahoma City has regained momentum, and I do not know if they will give it back. Have you ever heard of like Call of Duty? I think that it's the circle is closing on the Indiana Pacers, and Chet Holmgren, like Lou Dort and Alex Caruso are like this just this great defense that are just suffocating and closing in on the Pacers. We'll see what happens though. It's an entertaining finals though, from the just the layperson standpoint, like the moderate, I guess, right? Here are a few players though that I believe the Warriors should target with their $8.7 million trade exception. Starting off with Goga Bitadze-He. He's a center for the Orlando Magic. Big guy, 6'11", 7 feet, about 250 pounds, but he's a bruiser. So if you're going to look at the measurables and be like, well, isn't that about what Quinton Post is? He plays a different brand than Quinton Post. I would say Bitadze is like in between. He's like a less athletic JaVale McGee almost, He provides, I call it like an aircraft carrier, a great screen setter. He's a good rebounder, and he's just a big body that the Warriors can throw on and hopefully sort of stymie or mitigate anybody like a Steven Adams for just if the Warriors had Goga Bitadze just to bang for 5 to 10 minutes a game, I think it would do wonders to crash the boards, to play tough defense positionally, to set as many screens as possible. Goga Bitadze fits that role, and I think he can do a little bit more, but at a bare minimum, he provides that. And look, I'm not looking for a lot with this $8.7 million exception, right? But what he provides is access to a Zaza Pachulia type of player. And why was Zaza so effective? It's because of the look that he gives the Warriors. He was a bigger guy, able to set screens, to bruise, to do the dirty work. The Warriors need that. They need that type of player again. Goga Bitadze is that type of player. I would trade the exception and 2 future second-round draft picks for Goga Bitadze. I would not trade this second rounder, but 2 futures and the exception. Take it or leave it, Orlando Magic. Here's another player. This is my crush, and I've talked about him for probably months now, right? Toumani Camara. He plays as a forward for the Portland Trailblazers, but I'm telling you, defensively, Toumani, all defensive second team this season. I believe he's like a second or third year player. I'm telling you, he can defend all the positions. He can defend 1 through 5. Now he's like a 6'7", 6'8"-ish forward, technically, right? But he can defend every position, like seriously. And he's a great. He can do a little bit of the 3, a lot of the D, but it's not. It's about his ability to contribute to get stops. Toumani Camara, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler would be the best defensive trio in the league. I'm going to say that again. Camara, Butler, and Draymond Green would be the best defensive trio in the league. How much? That's talking some smack considering that the Oklahoma City Thunder may win it all this season with a defense that they're priding themselves on, right? With that Dort, with that Caruso. I believe Toumani Camara is a step up from all of those guys. Absolutely. He has the athletic ability, the two-way ability. He is like, if we want to look at how he would fit in, he would play like the defensive version of two-way Wiggins, but better, amplified. And on offense, he can run the floor, he can handle a little bit. He is limited offensively. However, he can still, with time, probably still get you double digits a game. Double-digit scoring, and also one of the best defensive players in the league, and so young with potential. If I were the Golden State Warriors, I would trade the exception and 2 first-round draft picks for Toumani Camara. And 2 is not too much for Camara. Here's why the Portland Trailblazers might consider it, okay? They are very much invested in Shaedon Sharpe at the 2, 3, 4 position, at Shaedon Sharpe, at Denny Avdia, and they have the contract of Jeremy Grant that's going to be very hard to get off of, okay? So this is where, Portland gave up 2 first-rounders for Camara. Look, the Warriors can give them that capital, that draft capital back, and they would be giving up Camara. But look, on a team with, if Portland has anything, it's a lot of forward type of players, of 2, 3, and 4 players, right? That is a deal that makes a whole lot of sense. It's a forward-thinking deal for both squads. And oh my gosh, Toumani Camara would be a fan favorite in Golden State. His defense is his art. And with the Warriors, I believe he would paint his masterpiece. So 2 first-round draft picks and the exception. Moving on. Mark Williams, the center for the Hornets. Yeah, Mark Williams. I think he actually provides a proven starting caliber center right now. But I think Mark Williams still has considerable upside, even though he's like, 25, 26 now. I still believe he has upside at the center position. Mark Williams plays the game. I know this is like, this is sort of, I'm not trying to make this a cop-out. I believe like he plays the game the correct way. And he has done so ever since he's played at Duke. And I think that having a center with the Warriors that really understands spatially and has the athletic ability and capability to make a difference down low would just do wonders for the squad. And I know that Mark Williams would really enjoy a change of scenery. Mike Dunleavy Jr., gosh, he's the Warriors GM. Where did he go to school? Duke. Oh my gosh, where did Mark Williams go to school? Duke. I understand that those connections don't always hold value and hold water. Maybe they do this time. Who's to say they don't? They both went to Duke. Mark Williams, for Mark Williams, I would give up the exception, a first rounder, and a future second rounder. And that's a lot. That's a good amount. And that is betting on Mark Williams' upside. Williams was traded for Dalton Knecht of the Lakers, but then that trade was rescinded by the Lakers due to a failed physical of Mark Williams. You throw the exception at the Hornets, right? You give them the exception, you give them a little bit of draft capital. I think that they jump at the opportunity to reset and also still have that trade exception that is value. So I think that there is a deal to be had both ways. And Mark Williams really has that upside. Like, I think he's averages like 15 and 9 or something like that. But he's a player that can get you double digits, and he can finish around the rim. And he's an underrated passer. I think he had like 2+ assists per game. Underrated passer and a willing defender and shot blocker. I like Mark Williams. Moving on, Walker Kessler of the Utah Jazz. I was pretty much going to leave Walker Kessler off this list. However, he's got a history on Team USA with Warriors coach Steve Kerr. I think that does hold a little bit of value, as well as Walker Kessler can flat out defend the rim. He's a double-double machine who's also one of the better, not the best, one of the better shot blockers in the entirety of the NBA. That holds a lot of value. I don't think he will be available to the Warriors. That's what I'll say, for the exception. He screams that Danny Ainge, he's a Utah Jazz. Kessler's on the Utah Jazz. It screams to me like Jared Vanderbilt and a second-round draft pick are going to get traded from the Lakers to the Jazz. And I predict that Walker Kessler's going to go to the Lakers. I would love for him to go to the Warriors. I just don't think. I think that Danny Ainge will ask for 2 to 3 first-round draft picks from the Warriors. I think the Warriors will be willing to give up 1 first-rounder and the exception. I don't think that there's going to be any meeting ground there, but I had to put him on. Now, here's my dream target. And actually, this is just a straight-up trade, a dream target. If you know, last season I said that Lauri Markkanen was my Warriors dream target. This player fits just as well, not better because of the size, but just as well. However, he is coming off of a right shoulder labrum injury, and if I were the Warriors, that would be a reason to lowball for this player. And I also talked about, if I hope I can link something outside of YouTube onto my onto my channel, but like, hopefully I'll link it below. I was on a sports podcast with Sam Orlick, great one, Sports Ethos with Sam Orlick, I'm on that podcast a good amount, so check that out if you haven't yet. I'll try to link it below if it'll let me link something from the outside world on there. But we both have the same player crush, one guy in the league. This man is available, and also he is gettable for the Warriors. His name, Trey Murphy of the Pelicans. 6'8" forward / guard. He can defend the 1 through 4. He can defend through 2 through 4, maybe 1 through 4 in a pinch. He's got length, he's got size, he's got versatility, and he can shoot lights out. I have done the homework on Trey Murphy. He can shoot lights out. He is a legit, not good. He is a great shooter. And I was sort of like challenged by Pelicans fans to really to watch Trey Murphy shoot, to just see with my own eye, to watch the 3-pointers go in. I get it now. He is a great shooter and he is definitely available. However, He's available for like that king's ransom, right? And I would pay it if I were the Warriors. The Pelicans say that he's available for 2 first-round draft picks, a playoff caliber veteran, and a young prospect. The Golden State Warriors have all of those. Out of 3 players and 2 draft picks, I would tell the Pelicans to pick 2 and then get the 2 draft picks or even more. Out of those 3 players, I would trade any of a combination of Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, and Jonathan Kuminga. Any of those players or anybody on the squad not named Draymond, Pajensky, Steph, or Butler. Those 4 off the table. Anybody else are on the table for Trey Murphy. And in a landslide, I would give the Pelicans 3 first-rounders. So I would hope that I could give them Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, 3 first-rounders. That actually checks out in the machine. I would settle for Jonathan Kuminga. Unfortunately, I know Moses Moody, and then I would put it down to 2. But in the back, I would actually pay 3. But anyways, Trey Murphy is legit. Check out his 40-point performance in January of this year against the Celtics and report back. So just a few players. Oh, also real quick, Jonathan Kuminga, it is reported that he is going to, I think I said that he's going to probably resign. All signs are pointing to that. I have no problem with that. The Warriors are just going to have the said trades that I did before, all the ones sans Kuminga. Some of those are going to have to happen. The Warriors, if they re-sign Kuminga and they retain him, they're going to have to really bulk up their roster around and to support guys like Kuminga with veterans who really know what they're doing, who have a lot of skill. So, what do you think about Trey Murphy on the Warriors? Thumbs up or thumbs down in the comments. And for y'all who have subscribed, thank you so much to those subscribing. If you haven't, please subscribe. It just helps the channel so much. I am so grateful. This is what I want to do. It's like, this is what I do, right? And it just really helps my dreams come true. So thank you very much. And of course, for your Golden State Warriors content, I'll see you next time at C Train Station. Have a good one.